Floss Tube. You guys are awesome. Hi, I'm doing this again. Welcome to my Floss Tube channel. It does not have a creative name. I don't have it in me. But welcome back. I'm Nicole. This is Douglas. He is my year-round nutcracker. Yes, he is 5 feet tall and lives here full-time. I want to first say thank you to everybody. I uploaded that video just over a week ago and uploaded it, and after like 3-4 hours I looked at it and it had like 4 views, and I was like, yeah, rock star. That's all I'm getting. I really didn't expect anything else, and kind of left it a couple days. Life happened, work happened, and went back and checked it, and there's like over 100 views, 20 subscribers and likes and comments, and I was like, I was so excited, and definitely started plotting like, when do I have time to make another one? I was going to do it over the weekend, but my best friend was in town and we went wedding dress shopping, which was quite an adventure. If you need someone to give you all of the opinions, I'm your girl. I may or may not have told her her tits looked like a disco ball. So it was a long day. We did find a dress, and then we went out and celebrated, and we had dinner and wine and all the things. And then I was like, can't make a YouTube video full of wine. At least not yet. We're friends, you and me, Floss Tube. We're not quite there, but we are close enough that I didn't even brush my hair for you. I just that's where it lives. I work from home, so this is my normal like tank top, flannel, hair up. I may or may not have sweatpants and slippers on, but you'll never know. So yeah. But thank you everybody who watched it. I'm excited to do another one. Admittedly, this one may end up being a hair shorter. Obviously I can still talk, but I don't have as much to go over. You'll see why I spent the bulk of my week working on like one thing, but there are a few things. So first I'll do what you all in the Floss Tube world like to call haul. It's not that exciting, to be perfectly fair. It is what it is though. So I see a lot of people stitching out of magazines, and I like the idea of it. I know that I mentioned last week I like big patterns, and I do. I like having a goal, a long-term goal, whatever. But I've realized very quickly that it probably wouldn't hurt to have like 1 or 2 10-year patterns that I can do quickly. It gets a little hard when I feel like I put hours and hours and hours and hours into things and I don't finish them. I have no finishes for you this week. No finally effing overs, no finish, no nothing. Because I have all big projects. So I was like, I'm gonna get a magazine and maybe I'll get some like small ones because I know they have a lot of small patterns. So I went to Barnes & Noble where they had exactly 1 magazine. And that, my friends, is the Spring 2019 Enjoy Cross Stitch. Okay, first of all, it's November, but I was like, it's cool. I'll just plan ahead because I'm a planner. But I got it. It also came with this little bag. I'll show you what's in there in a minute. I don't want to stitch a single thing that's in here. There's nothing. There's some cutesy stuff. There's like this thing. Man, these glossy pages in this light are just not friends. Nope. Well, there you go. Way back here. But they're all cutesy. They've all got like sheep and rabbits and chickens. What the hell do you do with something with chickens on it? I live with a nutcracker, and this right here is a broken mermaid. Like, that's the extent of my home decor. So I sadly did not find anything I liked in here. I don't think I will stitch anything in here. It is what it is. Excuse me. I have an 8-year-old daughter, so maybe I'm working with her now. She's working on her little heart pattern. Maybe when she gets a little more comfortable, I'll give her that. She can do like an Easter bunny or the egg or something. So yeah, that was a total freaking bust. If you all have recommendations for magazines that don't suck, I'm your girl. Let me know. And where to buy them. There was one I saw online that I really liked, and it looked like it only came from Europe. I have a hard enough time buying a $20 magazine. So to pay shipping from over the pond is, it's a stretch, especially when it's an unknown. So like very specific issue recommendations would be appreciated. Or if there is a magazine that is just like the freaking jam, let me know and I'll subscribe. Like I'll pay if it's worth it. I just have a hard time chancing that. So it did come with this little kit to do a lot of the projects that were in it. It came with a whole bunch of like cardstock, and these, you can kind of see, it's got the holes cut out so you can do the little stitchy eggs and put them in there. Like I said, this is not my jam, but between 3 kids, and I do encourage arts and crafts even if they're not cross stitching, so that's cute. It also came with some Eastery ribbon. There you go. Oh, I just heard a kid. Just on a side note, my 2 boys are here. They firmly believe YouTube is a valid career choice. We're running a 50-50 right now. If someone's about to walk down here and be like, who are you talking to, Mom? I'm trying real hard to convince them that most people in the universe are not YouTube famous and they don't make their income there. You know, you'd think the job I work all day would give them like a slight hint. It doesn't. But they are both in lofted beds, and I definitely just heard someone get down. You might be meeting a child. Who knows? So back to my story. It came with a whole bunch of like generic floss. It just says high quality stranded cotton. I don't even know if that's a brand or what it is. Again, I'm gonna give that to kids. Also teaching my stepdaughter how to do friendship bracelets. You know, the kind we all did back in the day. So she can use it for that too. And then these little felt things, same, they're like little felt frames, which will be cute whether or not I use them for the projects that the magazine came with. So it wasn't a total bust. And I don't know how loud this crinkly ass noise is when I'm doing this, I'm sorry. So it wasn't a total bust, but it wasn't what I was expecting at all. So yeah. I also went to Target where I found these. How cute. I also got this one, and there are more colors, and they were $3 a piece, and I went to go back and buy them all, and maybe some duplicates. I told you guys last week, I love the project bags. I think they're adorable. I actually had a harebrained idea this week that I was like, I used to sew. I could do it again. Yeah, I should buy a sewing machine. If I bought a sewing machine, I would justify the cost of a project bag in like 3 bags. Yeah. Okay, I talked myself out of it. Thank God. I sold my sewing machine 5 years ago. There's probably a reason I am not fully remembering. So I bought these. $3. I was so excited. I'm gonna get rid of the fluffy thing. So yeah, I also, in other harebrained craft news, however, I want to embroider it, like that cool hand embroidery, because for those of you that Instagram, a lot of the cross stitch hashtags will send you to embroidery as well, and it's fracking gorgeous. So I would really like to try it, and I'm like, this is perfect. I can embroider it. Don't know where to start, don't know what I'm doing. I do feel like it's the same floss. So I just gotta find a pattern and a needle and a tutorial and figure out what the hell I'm doing. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I bought them, $3. They're a really good size. They're not huge. I stitch with hoops. I like small hoops, so I have mostly 6-inch hoops. So they fit in here. I have an 8-inch hoop, I believe fits in here as well. I don't think you could get a Q-snap in here. So sorry, it is what it is. So I got these. And then I went to my Joann's, which has all of the floss constantly stocked. Thank God. And I bought all of this. It is now falling on the floor. Yeah, so I did it for the Fox and Teacup Harry Potter book cover pattern that I don't know when I'm going to start. Not a darn clue, but I'm ready. So I bought it for that. Oh, I also got a couple, like I think these are for the unicorn pattern I showed last week that I have not bought black fabric for yet, but some of you guys gave me great suggestions in the comments. You talk to me, so thank you. I have a couple options I'm gonna look at to get that. Don't know when I'm starting it. Soon, maybe one day. And then I bought a box. I'm a box person. I don't know how all of you like to store your floss and your goodies. I really like the boxes. So I have this. I keep my cutesy scissors in here and all the stuff I need. I keep a Sharpie and a highlighter. The bobbin winder I should just chuck out a window. And all the floss. Most of this is left from Steotchalong. I put all of my Steotch colors in here. I've got reds and these are starting to creep in from other projects. But I was running out of space and I do have other boxes too. I try and keep them organized. I don't do a great job. And I've now been sitting on a pile of floss for, I don't know, a week almost. And I haven't touched it, so there's that. I'll get there eventually. And then I bought the stuff to start the Tiny Modernist Christmas calendar. So I have a lot of stories about this pattern. First of all, I have realized that when all of you, when you stitch a pattern that's actually like popular and known and from a well-known designer, you're way more likely to get interaction on all of these social media things. I do have a stitching Instagram. It's Nick Stitches. It's exactly the same as this channel. Yeah, that's actually, I had that first and then started doing this. So that's where I learned about all the things. So I have been posting stuff on there. I get some interaction. People are really, really nice. Like I genuinely enjoy this whole universe of stitchy people. You guys are way nicer than the mom community. Like, mommy groups are a damn nightmare. Different story, different day. But I started stitching the Tiny Modernist calendar that I talked about last week, and I get a lot of interaction on those. Okay, a lot is relative. Like I'm not the bee's knees over here. I know this, but like I was getting like 30 likes on those pictures. So that was fun. So that was my first story about this Christmas calendar. I've also noticed not a lot of people seem to have started it yet. I'm sure like a million people have bought it. But I went ahead and started it with the goal of finishing by the end of the month. I think I told you all that goal on my last video. I'm a liar. So not gonna finish. I'm not even gonna get close to finishing by the end of this month. This has taken substantially longer than expected. It's kind of like when I go in the kitchen and I make food and I'm like, I'm so hungry. And I like make this huge plate of food. And then I get halfway through it and I'm like, wasn't that hungry. Poor self-control. Living life like a toddler at all times. Finding something shiny and being like, ooh, probably all of the above. So yeah, that's a thing. So I started it. Well, okay, before I started it, I decided I really liked the fabric that they had stitched it on in their ad. So if you look at the ad where you can buy the pattern, either the PDF or the pattern that they snail mail you, like it's 94. They did it on like a gray fabric, and I think they linked it, and I'm pretty sure it was really expensive. And I was like, I can DIY that. So this is my thought process. So once upon a time, I followed the Chelsea and Priscilla coffee tea dyeing. That was actually my very first introduction to Floss Tube. I was in the Cunning Steotchalong Harry Potter group, and they were talking about coffee and tea dyeing their fabric, and people, me included, asked for like links and tutorials. I'm a big fan of a good tutorial. Changed a dishwasher that way, like a whole dishwasher. So someone linked their video and I followed it. I ended up with this. You can kind of see it. I really like how it turned out. It was not exactly what I was planning, but like this started at white. It's a dark ivory parchment-y. I don't have color words. It's this. I was happy with it. So I've seen ice dyeing videos and I've never really paid attention to them. They've never really intrigued me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a pain in the butt. But I was at Michael's or Joann's or whichever craft store I wandered myself into and was like, I really want a grayish fabric. So I've used Even Weave for another project, which I'll show you in a couple minutes. And I was like, I want to do it on an Even Weave. I really like how it looks. Like it turns out really, really nice. So I bought Even Weave. And then I wandered my happy ass over to the dye aisle, the fabric dye aisle, you know, next to the blank t-shirts. And I found this RIT liquid dye in the color Hyacinth. There's another word here. I am crossing my fingers that is a Spanish translation for hyacinth. I'm a grown-ass adult and I don't know that word. So I'm going to hope that's Spanish. And I pick up the bottle and I read it and I'm like, why does everybody ice dye? Why can't I just follow the directions on the bottle? Don't follow the directions on the bottle. So I did. I came home. I like take over the whole freaking kitchen. And it involves like boiling water and a whole bunch of dye. So I dump it in boiling water and I take my brand new white Even Weave and I put it in boiling water. First of all, did you know things shrink when they get too hot? Like I haven't shrunk a dozen sweaters in my life. I have made it well into my mid-30s and still shrink stuff trying to wash it. I just don't buy things that can be shrunk anymore. That's what this has turned into. So I'll show you the outcome of that in a second. Also, that bottle lied. That thing, so it says leave it for 30 minutes. I think I maybe left it like 10-ish. I'm real impatient. I pulled it out and it was like Muppet, Crayola, rainbow, purple, like super vibrant and deep. And I was like, oh, wait, this is for Christmas stitching. This is not gonna work. So I rinse it out. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. So I decided at this point, I'm not going to use it for what I intended. Mind you, to be clear, I have not noticed how badly it has shrunk yet. So I was like, I'm going to coffee and tea dye it. Going back to my video skills I got from Chelsea and Priscilla. So I like kick everybody out of the kitchen and I'm like, put coffee grinds. And my husband is like, what are you doing? Shh, I got this. So coffee and tea dyed it 3 times to like dull the color. And it did, I will say. It like, excuse me, it not only dulled the purple, I do think it washed some of the purple out. I probably could have put it just back into like plain boiling water and it would have washed it out some. Nonetheless, I did it 3 times in hopes of getting somewhere. I mean, it's something. It is not what I wanted. It is not the color I wanted. Up close and personal, it's very hard to see like an accurate, I mean, it's purpley, but like purpley with brown modeling, we'll call it. It's not, it's a mess. So my thought, and the back is even worse. Look at those big old spots. This side is better. So I think what I'm gonna do, provided I am ever ballsy enough to stitch on this, let me see how close I can get it so you can see. Do it. I mean, that was a 28 count Even Weave. That sucker's gotta be pushing like 38 or 42. I lost inches on all sides. So if I am ever brave enough to stitch on this, I will probably do something Halloweenish. Black and orange and like dark purple. I don't know what else I'd do with it. I definitely was not going to use it for this Christmas stitching. Couldn't do it. So pay attention to your internet friends and why they dye things the way they do. Next time I'll try ice dyeing. I feel like I'd have better luck. Yeah, so instead, I decided to stitch on 18 count oatmeal Aida because I have like a yard of it in the house, and I like bought all the floss and was ready to start. And that turned into a mess, and I was like, but I really want to start it. So I did. So now I am using this. This is how far we are. I am happy with it. I have a couple points to make. First of all, the white outlining on oatmeal is really tough. Like, it's okay on the calendar squares, you can see it, but this doodly part up here does not show up well at all. I am considering backstitching around it in green. So this says Merry Christmas in red, and then there's like a green, what do we call it? Holly? Sure, leaves, foliage right there in green. So I think I might take that green and backstitch on both sides of the white to make it stand out. Because, you know, let's take a project that takes a long time and make it take longer. But that's my plan as of now, so you can see it, because I wish you could see that top piece more. So that's feedback point one. Point two, these two, the Christmas tree and the lights, stitched up so fast. The snowman took a while. I expected him to. He's pretty sizable, and he was also my first square. I started in the center, which was like right here. So he was my first square, and he took a while, but I was fine with it. She took forever. Wasn't a fan. And then me and this gingerbread man, you can see he's not done. He's like got a bite taken out of him. I'd frog him like 3 times. Turns out I don't know how to count to 8. Difficult life skills that I seemingly don't have. So that was really tough. And it has taken me all week. Every single day that I have stitched, I have worked on this in some capacity. I'm going to stitch tonight when I finish this, and I watch Monday Night Football while this uploads. And yeah, speaking of, yes, I have Monday Night Football on like right outside of view. It's on a commercial, so I can't see the score. Coming back? I don't know. Yeah, I'm a big football fan, but we're Lions people. They're doing stuff. Playing the game sometimes. But we're Lions fans forever. So Monday Night Football is just kind of on. It's not my team, but I'm watching. Yeah, so I will continue to work on this. Like I said, I originally wanted to finish this by the end of the month so I could have it out by December 1st. Nope. Hopefully I'll have it out by Christmas. It takes a lot longer than I thought. I figured like 25 days of Christmas, square day, and the border, maybe 1 or 2 days, 27. Like, that's the month of November. I guess in my mind, I thought like I could be like 1 square a day, do it and be fine. I didn't realize how long some of these squares would take, like hours, many of them. So it is what it is, but I'm enjoying it. I'm excited for it. I have also learned that if I would like to stitch seasonal things, I need to start way early. I couldn't for the life of me figure out like why people were continuing to stitch Halloween after Halloween, which yes, was like a week and a half ago. Or why back in July when I started catching some floss tubes by chance, people were stitching Christmas, and I was like, why? Oh, I get it. This will be the only Christmas thing I stitch. I don't know what the next holiday will be. Maybe something St. Patrick's Day if I can find something fun. If not, I don't know. Easter, 4th of July. Easter is probably not going to be a thing I stitch. We're not big Easter people. 4th of July, however, Memorial Day, 4th of July type. Yeah, red, white, and blue. I might start something like that because clearly I need months to plan this accordingly. So yeah, also about this pattern. So I want to say, if you're still watching, if anybody's watching, I am genuinely appreciative of these patterns. They are so well thought out and so detailed and so wonderful. I haven't had any problems with any patterns in any capacity. I've been really impressed with how well things are. But I don't fully understand the symbol choices that were made on this pattern. Again, I know that there's a lot of work, and I'm trying real hard to toe the line of constructive feedback and being a bitch. So if you can see, right, come on, light, do it, there we go. So right below this finger and right above this finger, there are 2 arrows. I don't think it breaks the rules to show like the keys, the code. So I'm not gonna put it back up just in case. It's not the chart. I mean, I'm not sharing the chart, I know better. There are 2 arrows that point upwards. The only difference is one of them is a little bit fatter. Maybe one of you is going to come back and be like, this is why you don't print in black and white. Maybe they're color coded on the actual pattern. I don't know. I did not catch that there were 2 symbols similar to each other. So while I was stitching the Christmas tree, you can see right there, all of them have like nice little coordinating. It's just a little square, and they have like 3 reds and then a pink and like 3 golds and a yellow. And then I did the pink ones. There's 3 pinks and a teal. And I remember the night I was doing it, it was like last Tuesday, Wednesday. And I looked at it and I was like, why? And I pulled out the pattern and I look at it again, and I'm like checking numbers between my floss box and the pattern. And I'm like, that's what it says. So I did it. It wasn't until the next day that I was stitching another part and realized, I was doing down here. It's the same color down here. When I realized there are 2 arrows. For the love. There's like 26 letters in an alphabet and 100 symbols in the universe. I'm sure there's a lot more. 2 arrows? Really? Again, this is a great pattern. I really like how it's turning out. Can I get a heads up next time? Like, just write it in big letters, like P.S. There are 2 arrows. I don't know, whatever. So I was a little befuddled by that. So it is what it is. So yeah, I spent most of my time working on that this week. I do have 2 other whips that I worked on briefly. I got the ladies here. I have not finished my Steotch, but I'm closer than I thought I'd be. I really didn't think I would get this far with it, even though I love the Golden Girls. I think I mentioned last week my husband picked, it says picture at Sicily 1922. This is for him. He's gonna frame it and put it in his office. So proud of his wife or something. So yeah, I worked on that a little bit. I will maybe work on that later. And then the Scarecrow, there he is. So you can see him. I love him, like so much love. So I mentioned last week, this is a watercolor pattern. So that's it. There's no back stitching. There's no anything extra. He's done. I have completely finished this section of the pattern. I have moved into the Tin Man. I shared it on my Instagram. I was really excited. The designer commented again. She's been really sweet. Yeah, this is, like I said, this one's for me. And at the rate it's going and the amount of time it's taken, it will very likely be a long time from now before it's done, but it's for me, so I'm okay with it. I'm just so thrilled with how it's turning out. That is Hard Knot Life on Etsy. She has a ton of stuff, tons and tons and tons. I think everything of hers is watercolored in some capacity. So yeah, if you like watercolors, I encourage you to check it out. But yeah, those are the only 3 things I worked on all week. As to be expected, still sitting on this one for my mother. Surprise party is like 5 days. It's her gift. Haven't been framed. I did look. At least I looked. The problem is I have an idea in my head and it's so hard to express and I just haven't been able to find it. I think I'm gonna go to Home Goods this week. I've been to Target, I've been to the craft stores, I've done the things. I cannot find what I want. I have now waited long enough. I don't have time to get anything online. Shocking. I took too long. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Home Goods. They usually have something I can work with. And have no fear, my mother doesn't watch this. While I did joke early this week, like I had 4 whole views and none were my mother. You know, she, oh, Lord, if I told my mother I was talking to strangers on the internet, she would have an aneurysm. YouTube's not her thing. Sometimes she can work her smartphone. I love her, I do. She is just, technology is not where it's at for her. So, yeah. So, like I said, this was going to be shorter than last week. Not because I can't talk forever, so much as I have worked on the same 3 things all week long. I am hoping to pick up some small patterns this week. I've been watching quite a few people. I watch all the Floss Tube. I've been watching a lot of people, and I do like the idea of something smaller that I can pick up in between that maybe would be done in like a total of 5 to 10 hours, as opposed to all of my giant projects. I do know I was like mouthy last week about how much I love it. And I do. It motivates me. It keeps me moving. I like having like a big project with a long-term goal. But I am starting to see the benefit of small projects and just having things that I can finish quickly and enjoy without months and months and months of waiting. Because some of these are going to take forever. Some of them I haven't even started because I know how long they're going to take. So, yeah. So if you have any suggestions on small stuff, not Christmas. How about that? And not Easter. Otherwise, seasonal is fine or not seasonal. You guys know I have the books I showed you last week, the Subversive Cross Stitch. I'm probably going to do at least one out of there because those are quick and they're small. I feel like words stitch up really quickly for me. So I'll probably do something out of there. Yeah, but I'm open to other small patterns. Etsy, I'm a big fan of Etsy, or anywhere I can pay with PayPal and download to a PDF. Really, those are like my requirements. So, yeah. Yeah. So it's been fun. Thank you. Dear God, if you watched me twice, I don't even know what to say, but thank you. Yeah, this is fun. I am going to try and do it once a week. I don't have a day. I don't have a time frame. I don't make any promises. Life happens. So when I can do it, I will do it. But I am gonna, I did good. I think last week I uploaded that first one on a Saturday and it's Monday. So I was close. Won't be this weekend. The party's this weekend for my mom. So maybe early next week. Pretty much whenever I can kick my husband out. Because he's pretty and he's supportive. But like if I told him I was making a YouTube video for cross stitch, he'd be like, intervention, we're done. It's time. So not gonna break that to him just yet. So maybe next Monday. He tends to go hang out with his buddies for Monday Night Football. Speaking of it, 7-10. And the 49ers are winning. Which is good. We want that to happen. So yeah, now I'll go upload this. So when you watch it, this game is super over. And you're going to be like, really? Way to go. Way to timestamp it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will be back at some point next week. And hopefully I'll have more little projects. And then I can just talk forever. Bye.